Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me here. Today we're going to work out something fun. We are going to be crashing the moon. That's right. And you're going to be a witness. So let's see if I can get it to work out. So let's get started. Now I did do some pre-cutting so that it would save you guys viewing time. Because we are going to be orchestrating a piece of this is going to take some time. And you guys are going to get to see how I do it. Now, in order to get these papers to blend a little bit better, I did use some distressed oxide. I'm going to straighten this up just a little bit. So I did use some distressed oxide on the edges there. And that's just to get it to blend a little bit with these colors. Now we've got two little boys that are up to something. And you're about to see what they're up to in just a minute. Now, what you'll often see me do in order to get it look like feet are standing rather than floating. Do you see how they're floating? To make it look like they're standing on the ground, I'll embed them behind something else. And that way it helps also to create layers. Now bear with me as I get my logistics here. I'm looking for a little piece. If I find it, I find it. If I don't, I don't. Oh, here it is. And these are clouds from another page and part of a moon. But we're using these not as clouds and moon, but we are using this as rocket steam propulsion, however you say that. Because this rocket's taken off. So this is more of a momentum type graphic here rather than clouds. Now, I know you probably cannot see this, but what gave me this idea is there are wavy lines within the clouds that almost look like sound or motion reverberation. So what that means is something's in motion and moving at a high rate of speed. So I got this idea just by those lines. And we're going to see those lines in another piece here in just a moment. So it's how Marta drew the clouds and the skies in certain areas with these little details that really help you to showcase something that it's really not. So these are not clouds, but these are the steam the rocket emits as it's taking off. So these little boys are setting off their rocket. And it's gonna go off course. So this is more of a trajectory. Propulsion, that's the word I was looking for and trying to say earlier. The propulsion of the rocket. this piece right here is upside down, and is upside down for a strategic reason. And you're going to see what that reason is in just a moment. But before we do that, this is a little bit off. So I'm going to trim it. This is one of the pages out of my journal that I can't use the journal because it is way too fat. And I do have my new journal, but I want to use up these pages. Okay, now here's where it's gonna get interesting. I'm at the end of my glue. Now we are crashing the moon, y'all. And I do have to be very strategic about this. So you're gonna get to see what's inside the moon. Okay. So this is coming out of it. And this was part of a sky on another page. And right now we're just playing. And this is another piece that Marta had created as part of the sky. in another page, and it's got some reverberation circles. And I'm not sure that that's actually showing up on camera. Hopefully it is. But it's got some reverberation circles, almost like sound traveling through. And right now I'm just working with placement. So all these things are coming out from inside the moon as it's being crashed into. It's falling out. And these are pieces that are flying out. Pieces of moon. I'm going to glue this down because I'm happy with the way that's coming out. It's like it's spilling out from inside. Okay, so it's coming out like a waterfall. And amongst that is a set of light bulbs that were inside the moon. But now they're dangling. And these are the pieces that are flying off as it's hit by the rocket. So these are some things that you can do with image books, that they're made in such a way that you have certain images, but you can actually turn them into something else. And I'm actually going to get rid of that dark line there because it's distracting from what it actually is. This rocket is going to go right there. And remember that piece that I glued upside down? On the other side of it, it has cogs and wheels, as you can see. Now I'm thinking about what happens when an object hits another object. Okay, I like that. What part of the moon is coming up over the rocket like it's going up inside. Okay, I like that. Happy accident. this guy down so that we can then start to mold the pieces around him. Okay, so there's that reverberation. It looks like something's coming out in waves. So we have the lace and the pearls spilling out. We have the cogs and the machinery inside. And we have the light bulbs dangling. And they are lit. So these light bulbs are lit. They are on. Now what's wonderful about Marta's artwork as well as her style of creating is she has encouraged us to go into a fantasy world where things are not always perfect as far as the natural world. So this is your world, and you can do what you want with it. You can have light bulbs coming out of the moon. You can have lace and pearls coming out of it. And I'm just using this Jelly Roll white gel pen to illuminate these bulbs and make them look like they are on. So you can use your pens to try and create something that's not there. So we're creating a light within inside the bulbs. And then to reiterate that fact, I'm going in with some yellow. And this is just it's a gel colored pen from a set. And it's got some shine to it. And that's what I was after, is some shine. It's got some glitter to it. So these bulbs are on. Okay. of these cogs. I wanted these to look like they were falling out as part of the crash. And I'm just moving these around to see how I can make that look like that. And the reason why I want to use this piece, you see these lines that look like these cogs are actually falling. So the fact that these lines are here makes it look like the cogs are in motion and they're all falling down. So that's one reason why I chose this piece. So I'm gonna put it right there so they go straight down. So in your world, when you're creating stories and images, think about these things. How would it act if it were falling? How would it act if it were turning? What would it look like if it had smoke or steam coming out of it? Which direction would that fall? And I'm trying to decide how much of this I want it to be open. I still want it to look like the moon. I'm placing pieces down around the rocket because then it looks like the rocket's going up into it. And these are things you want to think about. But at the same time, I'm trying to get it to have enough to where it still looks like the moon. I don't want it totally opened up. But I want it opened up enough to where you can see the machinery and the cogs and the wheels, but yet you can see that it's the moon. And we can have some more bits flying. Glue is almost at its end. Okay, I want to be strategic about where I put this piece. Okay. All right. So there it is. Thank you for joining me on this adventure, because I didn't know if I was going to get this to work. I plotted it out and I thought, I'm going to just do it. So I thank you for your time. This was pure joy for me, a lot of fun, trying to figure out if we crashed the moon, what would be inside of it. Just having a lot of fun with the elements in Marta's books. So I encourage you to do the same. Think outside the box. A cloud may not be just a cloud. It can be steam. It can be smoke. It can be fog. So just use your imagination and have fun with these images if you are someone who does journaling. And if you don't, then just sit back and relax and enjoy the creation process. Have a good night, a good day, or a good morning, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for watching.